But I ain't know, you know what I mean?
You know it's gonna take off.
Nope, didn't have a clue.
Cause it was raw. Man, it's rumors that some of that footage is actually real.
Like,
Man, we getting back to it, so we took a brief intermission, man. Different location. Where we at right now, Kurt?
oh man, we in the official trap house, man. You know what I mean? Straight up.
So still on the west side with it.
Yes, indeed.
Man, before we left off, you was kind of opening up about your past and, you know, the pimping. You talked also about, you know, the hustling days. We talked about the film industry. Somebody who I saw you link up with around that time when you was really head first into the movies was a guy out the Bay Area, JT the Bigger Figure. And I think he had relocated to the South, to the A, saw him messing around in Birmingham, etc. How did that relationship come about, man?
Oh man, I met JT through a mutual friend when he first had left Cali and came to Atlanta. And, you know, he was doing this thing, you know what I mean? We used to see them niggas out there with them big ass posters. And they used to be goddamn, I'm talking about 7, 8 feet tall. You couldn't even, the poster was so big, you couldn't even see the nigga who was holding it. But you just see JT the Bigger Figure, JT the Bigger Figure. You see the sign, I'm talking about, this nigga had shit everywhere. So we like, shit, what, you know, what he got going on for real? And goddamn it, you know what I mean? One of my partners hooked us up. We did one little project, you know what I mean? Shit went smooth. Boom. We linked back up, did another one, shit went smooth. The nigga was goddamn it, you know what I mean? You know, showing me some shit that I didn't know, you know what I mean? That I first already knew, but some lames who was around me, you know, kept the game from me. And that nigga that came from wherever and goddamn, you know what I mean? So I goddamn embraced him, you know what I mean? Because the nigga goddamn it turned me on to some shit that I supposed to already know, you know what I mean? And man, me and him goddamn it linked. Who? Yeah. Goddamn it, yeah, man, but JT, that nigga goddamn, you know, was like a brother figure, you know what I mean? I'm talking about goddamn it, he turned me on to a lot of shit, you know what I mean? Turned me on to a lot of money, you know what I mean? And we goddamn it, you know, did a couple projects together, you know what I mean? Everything was smooth at first, you know how shit go, you know what I mean? Shit started out smooth, and then when, you know, somebody got a motive or, you know what I mean, something else going on, it'll come out, you dig what I'm saying?
When you were saying he put you on game that some other people should have already enlightened you on, what are you referring to?
It was some movie shit, some camera shit, some ways to goddamn it shoot, you know what I mean? Some shit in some different formats and shit, you know what I mean? It was some typical shit, but the people I was around, they knew this and didn't turn me on to it, you know what I mean? And I was new to the camera game, you know what I mean? That was my Snow to Blow, my first ever project ever, you know what I mean? Getting it all the way done, and you know what I mean? So I was still new to it, but you know, the shit was out, you know what I mean? So I was, you know, trying to think of what my next move was gonna be, you know what I mean? So I had to get some little pointers here and there, you know what I mean? Hell yeah.
Man, before we go any more into your relationship with JT, I'm curious to know, was your business in order? You talking about like camera knowledge, but actually like contractual agreements when you put Snow on the Bluff out, because you saw how crazy it went.
Hell no.
Netflix, all of that, dog. Like,
I'm talking about no paperwork, none of that shit. No lawyers, none of that shit. I'm talking about, I ain't had no knowledge of none of that shit. I'm talking about the business side of it at all. And it wasn't even on my mind for some reason, you know what I mean? Because I really wasn't thinking she was gonna get as big as it got, you dig what I'm saying? So I felt like, and like I said, I ain't put, you know, my everything into it, just thinking, you know, shit. And that was one of the main pieces, you know what I mean, to the puzzle. Well, you know, shit went wrong yet.
So who was making all the money? So when you first released it, before the re-release, all the money was coming to you then?
Yep, because we selling everything out the trunk damn near. I'm going around to festivals, goddamn it, all over the world, hand in hand. That when DVDs were still popping. So I'm hand in hand, man. I'm talking about all over, everywhere with it, you know what I mean? And goddamn it, you know, all the money, right here, hand in hand. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. And you know, once that shit went digital and all that other shit, that when the real money came, and that's when, you know, the bullshit came.
So man, when did the industry come knocking? Because I saw it's footage online from years ago where, you know, R.I.P. Michael K. Williams, he came down and he had also mentioned it during an interview on the Breakfast Club.
Yep.
You know, that he had shouted you out, talked about the film and how raw and real it looked and how he wanted to get down and get involved. Like, how did that whole situation come about, man?
I was in jail, and I had folks to linked up with Michael K. Williams. So I think I got arrested a week before we had folks to win on 106 in Park. I had talked to him and everything on the phone. We had done made all the arrangements and everything. They were gonna fly me to New York and everything. But goddamn it, my street business, you know what I mean, brought a hope to the shit. And he went on ahead. I'm in Rice Street watching this shit on TV where he on 106 in Park. He talking about the movie, you know what I mean, explaining, you know, certain shit. But I had been on there with that man.
Damn.
I missed a real goddamn opportunity right there. Yep.
And he came to the Bluff though.
I'm talking about that nigga said, I'm gonna pull up on you, man, and goddamn kick it with you, blah, blah, blah. Now, at that time, shit at first jump, it was so many folks saying they were gonna come through, but they never came. That nigga pulled up, man, I'm talking about like this here. Side kicked it for goddamn it, at least, we sat out there damn near all day. That nigga kicked it all day, matter of fact. You know what I mean? In my little spot where we were. We kicked it all that day. Then later on that night, we went to a little spot down by Buckhead, you know what I mean? And goddamn, we kicked it. The next day, that nigga came back, we kicked it. We kicked it for a couple of days, yeah. Yep, that nigga was real down to earth. You know what I mean? But what my thing was with that, it was like, they were trying to compare Snow on the Bluff to that Wire shit, you know what I mean? Okay, that Wire shit, I loved every minute of it. But you know, his character was so at the same time, I'm like, hey man, you know, I play, you know, don't compare me, you know what I mean, to, you know what I mean? And it was like, it was kind of shaky, but me and his relationship, cool, everything was smooth, but it's just how they were trying to put that comparison to that and then look at me, and then, I mean, you got motherfuckers looking, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean? Hey man, ain't nothing gay about me, man, you know what I mean? In no kind of way, you dig what I'm saying?
No,
but yeah. It was a good experience, man, when I kicked it with him, man. Rest in peace, Mike K. Williams. He was a good nigga, man, down to earth. I'm talking about a real street nigga. That nigga had so many goddamn battlefield scars and shit. He had them in bust upside head with balls, cut. I'm talking about goddamn, I showed him one of my scars. He showed me one of his. That nigga, that done been in some shit.
Yeah. Is that the only time y'all actually hung out? When he came down?
Yep. That was the first time we actually hung out, you know what I mean, real heavy. Like I say, we hung out for like 3 days straight. I'm talking about, goddamn it, the whole 9. That nigga, goddamn it, the whole 9, John. Bit for real.
Literally.
4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Turned
like
up.
this. Yeah, bro. Bit for real.
Man, so, but what was it? You said the comparison of Wire to Snow on the Bluff. I know he played Omar in the Wire. He was a robber and all of that, but aside from that, what did he do for Snow on the Bluff, though?
He ain't really do nothing. We put his name on there to try to get it some extra boost. You know what I mean? We just put his name behind it, you know, because of the Wire shit was going on, to see was he gonna get, you know, some extra play out there, you know what I mean? He did what he did, you know what I mean? But it just didn't bust out, you know what I mean? How we really thought it was going to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So is that a regret of yours, or do you look at it as a learning lesson? Like
It was
having your business in
Yeah, it was a learning lesson. It was a learning lesson, man. You know, you got to know that business before anything. I had to figure that out, you know what I mean? I supposed to learn the business first before I ever even jump off the porch, you know what I mean? That type of business. But I ain't know, you know what I mean?
You know it's going to take off.
Nope. Didn't have a clue.
Because it was raw. Man, it's rumors that some of that footage is actually real.
Like the actual real footage, we never did put none of that on there because at first we had a lot of real shit, but it was like, you know, certain shit that couldn't be seen on TV, and you know, we didn't want to incriminate nobody for real. You dig what I'm saying? So we just had to reenact some of the scenes to perfection. You dig what I'm saying?
I got you.
Well, a motherfucker had to look at it 2 times to make sure he seen what he seen, or to try to see, was that real, was that fake? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
For sure.